Hi Gandhi class, welcome to your third English lesson this week. And our learning objective for this lesson is, can I extend my sentences by using a subordinate clause? So in today's lesson, we're going to make our sentences more complex and interesting by adding in a subordinate clause. And just as a quick reminder, a main clause is a simple sentence that can stand alone. It includes a subject and a verb. And remember, a verb is a doing word. For example, Ella works hard at school. This is our main clause. Ella works hard at school. You've got your subject, which is Ella, and your verb, which is works. So a subordinate clause cannot stand on its own, and it relies on our main clause in order for it to make sense. They also don't give a new point, so the information that you give in your subordinate clause needs to link to your main clause. And when you write a subordinate clause, you need to make sure that you use one of these subordinating conjunctions. So you've got if, since, as, when, although, while, after, before, until, because. This is just an example of some. So we can extend our sentence by adding in a subordinate clause. So we've got Ella works hard at school when there are no distractions. So our main clause is that Ella works hard at school. We've then got our subordinating conjunction, which is when. And then when there are no distractions is our subordinate clause. Subordinate clauses can actually also go at the start of sentences as well. When this happens, the whole subordinate clause moves to the front and is followed by a comma. So for example, when there are no distractions, Ella works hard at school. When is our subordinating conjunction. When there are no distractions is our subordinate clause. We've got a comma after our subordinate clause, and then we've got Ella works hard at school, which is our main clause. So when there are no distractions, comma, Ella works hard at school. To help us remember what conjunctions we can use, we're going to use the acronym I saw a wobble. So I stands for if, S stands for since, A stands for as, W stands for when, A stands for although, W stands for while, A stands for after, B stands for before, U stands for until, and B stands for because. And this is I saw a wobble. So what I want us to do is I want us to work together to extend this main clause by adding in a subordinate clause to make it more interesting. So what you're going to need to do is get a piece of paper and a pencil, or you can use your whiteboard and a whiteboard pen. And I want you to extend our main clause, Laura smiled, by adding in a subordinate clause. So remember, you need to use one of these subordinating conjunctions and then write the rest of your subordinate clause, but it needs to link to your main clause. So pause the video here to have a go. Okay, so you could have had something like, Laura smiled because she was having fun. Because is our subordinating conjunction. And because she was having fun is our subordinate clause. And this relates to why she was smiling. So this is explaining why Laura smiled. Let's have a go at the next one. So we need to extend this main clause by adding in a subordinate clause. Remember, you need to use one of these from I saw a wobble and then write a subordinate clause that relates to our main clause. So our main clause is my cat meowed at the front door. Pause the video here to have a go at extending our main clause. Okay, so you could have had something like, my cat meowed at the door as he wanted to be let in. So as is our subordinating conjunction, and then our subordinate clause is as he wanted to be let in. Let's have a go at extending this main clause. So on your piece of paper or your whiteboard, please can you extend this main clause by adding in a subordinate clause? Remember, you need to use one of our subordinating conjunctions from I saw a wobble. So for example, Miss Amanpour said we could play outside. And then you need to pick a subordinating conjunction and finish the sentence off. So pause the video here to have a go. Okay, so we could have had something like, Miss Amanpour said we could play outside when it had stopped raining. Our subordinating conjunction is when, and our subordinate clause is when it had stopped raining. Let's have a go at extending this one. Miss Gossage said we can listen to music. So pause the video here to add in a subordinate clause using a subordinating conjunction. Okay, well done if you got something like, Miss Gossage said we can listen to music while we do our work. So while is our subordinating conjunction, and we are doing it while we do our work. Now we could also have this at the start of our sentence. So if we decided to have our subordinate clause at the start of our sentence, then we could write while we do our work. And remember, you need a comma. Miss Gossage said we can listen to music. So that's another way that you could add in a subordinating clause if you would like. So with this one, we have got our subordinating clause at the very start. We've got a comma after our subordinating clause, and then we've got our main clause. Your turn. I want you to pick an activity to complete, but please make sure you are choosing the activity that is appropriate for you. If you think it's a little bit too easy, then you need to do the one that you find a little bit harder. If you think it's way too hard, then you need to do the one that's a little bit easier. So activity number 1, you might want to choose this one. And what you need to do is write out these sentences and put the correct subordinating conjunction in the blanks. So we've got, I will finish my homework. Then you pick a subordinating conjunction, I eat my dinner. Mrs. Cornell said that we can go outside to play, called subordinating conjunction, it is not raining. I enjoy playing games, pick a subordinating conjunction, they are fun. And my mum is taking me to buy new shoes, pick a subordinating conjunction, she picks me up from school. So you need to make sure that you're writing this out really neatly on your paper and uploading it to Tapestry. Now this is activity number 2. So I want you to fix my boring sentences by making them more interesting. So you need to add in a subordinate clause. You can add in your subordinate clause at the end of your sentence or at the start of your sentence, but remember the rules if you do. So we've got Rajan will play on the computer, pick a subordinating clause to finish off the sentence. I will make a cake, pick a subordinating clause to finish off the sentence. Michael will take her dog on the walk, and then you need to pick a subordinating clause to finish off your sentence. Miss Whelan is going to read a book, pick a subordinating clause to finish off your sentence. I want to go on holiday, you need to pick a subordinating clause to finish the sentence and extend it. And then the last one, my mum said she will take me shopping, pick a subordinating clause to finish off the sentence. Now, if you want to further extend yourself, I've got an extension here for you. And what I would like for you to do here is write your own sentences that include a subordinate clause. So you need to use the I saw or wobble subordinating conjunctions to write your own sentence using a subordinate clause. Please make sure you upload all of your work to Tapestry, and I'll see you next time, Gandhi class. Bye.